Okay, so I wanted to share a lecture that I gave to my class. I'm teaching creative thinking, and I this is just such a key thing about teaching today. I learned so much from my students, and it's an online class, so it's not face to face. So I'm reading all of their things that they write, and I'm learning about them and how they see the world. Sorry, I'm trying to, I don't think that'll work. But, so many, I've been teaching now for 19 years, and it's, I don't even know how to say it, but they've really taken the fun out of teaching. You have to have like your lesson plans. You have to have your weekly. Birdie knows I'm passionate about this, don't you, Birdie? You say hello to everyone. I shall, Birdie. Mwah. Okay, thank you, girl. Anyway, now I lost my train of thought. But this is my YouTube channel, so it's not my classroom online. So let me give you a little background. Yes, we're so glad that we're in the academic world, aren't we, Birdie? Yes, Birdie would go to school with me every day if she could, but I won't let her. She's a Border Collie Australian mix. She's from a rescue. She's awesome. Okay, Birdie, Mom needs to focus. Nope, we'll cuddle later. Mom needs to focus. Okay, so in my class, had them. We're kind of broken down to the creative thinking process, right? It's called creative thinking class. So the first week we do environmental, how your environment affects your creative thinking. Then we did ecological, how your ecological system shapes your creativity and your thoughts. And now we're working on this week is social and cultural. I had the students do an input audit. One, they had to pay attention to their screen time. Where does your attention actually go? I had them look on their phones and see how many hours they're on their phones, what those hours are broken down into. Oof. I didn't fix my hair today. Anyway, just what is your most used app of the week? And does it feed your creativity or does it drain it? The second thing I had them look at is the last 10 things they consumed. What have you actually read, watched, or listened to? Shocking. All of it was mainly TikTok. What else? Social media. So it's TikTok, Snapchat, social media, Spotify. Anyway, so I asked them, okay, of these last 10 things that you consumed, how many of them came from outside your own field, outside your own like major, outside your own, just outside your regular beliefs, right? Okay, the third, I had them answer who they actually talked to. Who are the last 10 people you had a substantive conversation with? Does everyone on your list think roughly the same way you do? Question. Okay, fourth, I had them look at their algorithms. What has your behavior trained your feeds to show you? And if an outsider looked at your feed, what would they know about you? What would they think about your interest and worldview? Okay, let me see. So I had them, let me find the slide. So that is kind of the core lecture, lesson plan that we were working on. Ooh, whoops. And then I have it recorded, so I'm trying to find the correct slide. Okay, then I had them look at, I taught them what an echo chamber does. Okay, one, it confirms what you already believe, so you feel smart without being challenged. It narrows the range of problems you can see. You only notice what your inputs have trained you to notice. So bad in today's world with computers, AI, social media, that kind of stuff. An echo chamber makes your ideas feel more original than they actually are, because everyone around you is working from the same references. What else does an echo chamber do? It kills serendipity, the unexpected encounter with an idea that changes everything. Okay, so here are some warning signs in your own ecosystem. This is high. You rarely encounter an idea that genuinely surprises you. Also high. Your inputs are all from the same field, decade, or culture. How boring. Ugh. Okay, moderate. The people you talk to mostly agree with you. Another moderate. You can predict what your feed's going to share with you. And worth noting, and I think most important, is that you haven't read a book outside of your field. You haven't looked at other things outside your field, right? Okay, so that, without going too deep into the lecture, let me get my notes on my computer. Without going too deep into the lecture, I just wanted you guys to see that. Then I asked them, sorry about that. Okay, so after this lecture, I asked them to answer those things, and see what their feed is showing them. So my camera's right here, my face is right here, so I guess I keep looking at myself. Okay, so this, the mirror problem, the lesson, why what you consume shapes how you think. Okay, so when I was grading their, each, I can't remember how many students are in the class, 15 to 20, but while I was grading their answers, I was so happy to see, I had them come up with their problem, answer all those questions, and then think about let me know how you're going to change it for this week ahead, right? So several of them gave such great answers. One of them said that instead of doom scrolling before bed, she was going to color. I thought that was a Zen perfect way to kind of relax and end the evening. One of them said that she was going to try a different podcast instead of doom scrolling. So the main thing was these students were seeing how many hours they were spending on their phones, how many hours or minutes they were on TikTok, how many hours they were social media, how many hours were they actually researching, or how many minutes, so looking at that and breaking it down. Okay, so here is what my writings and my lecture said to them, all in response today. So without, going into all of this for every student. Okay, so what I told them, you just did something most people never do. You watched yourself, not your highlight reel, not the version of you that you post online. You watched what you actually let into your mind hour by hour. And what did you find? For most of you, you found a feed, a loop, the same voices, the same opinions, the same world reflected back at you over and over. That's called an echo chamber. And here's where the uncomfortable truth is. It doesn't feel like one from the inside. It feels like common sense to you. It feels like everyone thinks this way because in your feed they do. This is where critical thinking breaks down before it even starts. Okay, we talk about critical thinking like it's a skill you apply to information, but there's a step before that, a foundational step actually. It's called self-awareness. knowing where your information comes from, knowing what you are not seeing, and being honest about how that shapes what you believe. You cannot think critically about a world you've curated to agree with you. Let me say that again, and hopefully the closed captionings will get this. You cannot think critically about a world you have created to agree with you. Oh, perfect. Okay, so what do you do with this now, right? Self-awareness. Okay, first, you notice the comfort. When everything in your feed confirms what you already think, that feeling of comfort is a warning sign, not a reward. Growth lives in discomfort. Second, seek the opposing argument at its strongest, not the dumbest version, okay, of the other side, which sometimes that's hard to do, but don't focus on the dumbest version, right? Let me get back to my notes. Okay, I want you to see the best version of the opposing argument. If you can't explain why a reasonable person disagrees with you, you do not fully understand your own position yet. Third, audit regularly. You did it once, make it a habit. Who are you listening to? Who are you not listening to, and why? Self-awareness isn't the finish line of critical thinking. It's the starting line. You can't examine the world clearly through a mirror. The fact that you noticed is the most important first step. Now, don't stop there. Continue to audit your daily input. And those of you who are not in my class, I would encourage you to do the same.